So let's talk about tripods. When to use them, when to lose them, a few tips to go along with that while we're going on. But first I want to go over a new tripod that I just picked up within the last week or two. This is from Three Legged Thing. It's the Corey 2. So the reason for me getting this one is I've been looking for an extra tripod for not only filming videos, but also something that can pack up a little bit smaller for when I travel. I've been getting on an airplane a little bit more often lately, so I've wanted to get something that is definitely a little bit smaller. The reason for the Corey is it's an aluminum tripod. It is a little bit more heavy than the standard carbon fiber tripod. It's also going to offer a lot more stability because it is aluminum. It does, like I said, this is new. I still have the tag on it. So the nice thing about this tripod is the fact that it does fold up pretty small, but even though it is aluminum, it is a very lightweight tripod. Has a ball head on the top with a twist lock for your Arca Swiss, which is very nice to have. It's got a little bit of orange on it, so that way it's easy to see because this is a mostly black tripod. But the reason for getting the Corey is because that I wanted to get something that was aluminum, so that was going to be a little bit more sturdy and a little bit less bouncy, because I find that carbon fiber tends to be a little bouncy when you start to extend everything to the top. The other thing about the Corey that I really liked is they have a redesigned knob for all of the adjustments. I really like the way that this feels and works. It's a lot smoother than my previous Three-Legged Thing tripod. So another benefit to this tripod is because it has so many sections, it does extend fully to the top. So this is, I'm 6'1", so if I were to put my camera back on the tripod, I don't really have to lean down too much to look in the viewfinder at this point. So I can just kind of hunker down a little bit, look through the viewfinder, and I'm good. And as you can see, even though I've got my biggest lens and the camera with the lens hood on it, there's a lot of weight at the top of this tripod. There's really not that much movement going on here, and it does stabilize pretty quickly. Another benefit to the aluminum is it does kind of cinch up that wobble really quickly. So as you can see, that's kind of nice to have. So let's go over a few of the benefits of using a tripod with your landscape photography. The first is stability. With stability, you get some sharpness in your photos because you're not wobbling around, you're not trying to move and catch things when you're on your tripod. This is really good for long exposure photography because that way you can kind of set it up, make your composition, set that up, get everything all lined up, and then you can just set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about anything moving around or anything jostling, or if you've got shaky hands like I do, you don't have to worry about messing up your longer exposures when you're on top of a tripod. So that stability is nice. A couple of tips to go along with this. When you're using a tripod, turn off your in-body image stabilization and any image stabilization you have in your lens. The image stabilization is going to be looking for motion in order to stabilize it. So if you have both of those running while the tripod is stable and still on top of your tripod, your camera is stable and still on top of your tripod, the image stabilization features are going to look for motion to stabilize. So you'll actually end up with softer photos or a soft focus in your photos because your sensor is going to be moving around, and also your focusing element is going to be moving around to help stabilize. The second tip is when you're using the center column fully extended, or if you have the tripod fully extended, if you're looking for a little bit more stability. So when this is up, I said, you know, before this was pretty good, but one of the nice things is down here, there's a little key ring. So one of the things that I do, and I haven't done it yet, is I put a carabiner on here and then I'll hang my bag. And when you add that little bit of extra weight there, that actually helps stabilize the tripod and lower the center of gravity, so you don't have to worry about it wobbling too much, but also you don't have to worry about anybody knocking into it and knocking it over. Now the next benefit for using a tripod with your landscape photography has to do with your composition. I kind of alluded to it before a little bit, but the big benefit of using a tripod with your landscape photography is being able to freeze your composition. Once you find something that you wanted to take a photo of, so I'm here on a nice lake with a little bit of foliage in the background. Once I have this set up, now I can fine tune it a little bit. I can adjust my composition as need be. If I need to rotate the camera on the lens to go from portrait to landscape or landscape to portrait. And then there's a knob here, so that way on my ball head I can adjust as need be, but then also on this plane as well. Now that I've messed up my composition, you can get your composition all set so that way you can repeat your photos in order to either take a focus stack or exposure stack in order to get a cleaner, finer photo. So in this case, I have this, you might not be able to tell right here, but there's a little bit of a peninsula that's now behind in a shadow because the sun is starting to go down with the other part of the hill behind it. So I can retake this multiple times, and I can take this as the shadow starts to grow across these hills. So that's the nice thing about being able to be on a tripod, because now that composition is absolutely repeatable. I don't have to worry about aligning layers if I'm stacking in Photoshop. So a tip to go with your composition, using your tripod for your compositions, is one of the things that I do, and it's definitely something that's helpful, is if you ever need to repeat a composition, or if you need to move for whatever reason and then come back, or come back at a later date, one of the things that I do is I take a picture of where my tripod is sat in that exact location, so that way I can kind of best guess get it in place in order to repeat my composition. So if I'm taking a photo that I'm going to repeat in different seasons, different times of the day, I can have that set up exactly where I need it to be in order to repeat that composition. So now the last benefit that I'm going to give you about using a tripod with your photography and with your camera is a pretty simple one that I think everybody's going to use. Everybody likes to get photos of themselves while they're away on vacation, or if they're traveling by themselves. It's always nice to have a photo of yourself after the fact. Having to hand your camera off to somebody is sometimes a little nerve-wracking, or could be difficult to find because not everybody is going to be willing to take that photo for you. Plus also, they may not take the photo that you want, it may not be composed properly, or they might hit a button and things are kind of messed up. Now you've missed your opportunity. So the nice thing about having your camera on a tripod is you can do that vacation photo with your family, with your friends, or even by yourself. It also eliminates the dreaded arm to infinity type selfie with your phone like this. So when you take that photo, you have your arm that becomes a leading line to nowhere when you're trying to take that with your phone. So the nice thing is going to be is when you want to take that self shot with your camera, you set a timer. You get over in your position, wait for the timer to count down, and now you have your self shot for your vacation photos. So that's nice to have when you're doing that. Again, it's probably the more common thing that the everyday user is going to use, so you don't have to worry about handing off your camera or doing, you know, as my father used to call it, the dreaded arm to infinity with the cell phone camera at the selfie. So you don't have to do that anymore. So now you have a tripod, you have your camera set up, and obviously I wanted to have something that was going to compress my scene a little bit, but you have everything put together so that way you can just do it yourself. You don't have to worry about that. So those are all the tips and benefits that I have for using a tripod. Obviously, it's not going to be useful in every situation that you want to use it in, but there's going to be a lot of situations that you should use it in and could use it in to help you out with your photography. The last part of this video is going to be a benefit to you because I've made a mistake. When I first ordered the Corey 2.0 from Three Legged Thing, I also wanted to get the docks monopod stand as well, so that way I could use this in monopod mode but still have a little bit of stability to it as well. The other reason why is I wanted to put a clamp plate on it so that way I could use it as kind of a desktop tripod as well. So what ended up happening was I put two of them in my cart and bought two of them and did not realize it. So this is the docks footwear that you can get from Three Legged Thing. I threw a plate on here, the clamp plate with an Arca Swiss mount. So this will make for a nice little desktop tripod, or if you have a monopod of some kind, this will go onto the bottom of the monopod and you can use that for some stability. So because I have an extra one now, I'm going to give this away to you guys. So what I want you to do is I want you to comment in the comments below, comment in the comments below with the situation situation that you most use a tripod, and also the type of tripod that you use, you know, who you've got it from, whether it be three-legged thing, who doesn't sponsor this video. I don't get anything out of that. I just like their equipment. But, you know, let me know if you use three-legged thing or Peak Design or anybody else like that, what the situation that you use that tripod the most. And in 2 weeks, because I'll be traveling next week, I will randomly pick a winner from all of those comments, and you will get this Doc's footwear. Like I said, comment below, make sure that you're in the running for this. I'm also going to run this on my Instagram as well. So every place that you have put a comment, because there will be a post that goes along with this as well. So anywhere that you put a comment is going to be an entry to win this. So as always, thank you very much for coming along with me on this. I really do appreciate you watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and a like when you get a chance, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much again for watching my channel.